in what Mkhwanazi described as a politically motivated move.
Khumalo's arrest is a project. It's a project to counter the criminal investigation in Gauteng. This letter of the minister at the close of the task team, it's a project that is aimed at stopping the criminal investigation in Gauteng.
Mkhwanazi also states that the political killings task team was a mistaken target because those implicated were under the wrong impression that it was also investigating crime in Gauteng. Babalo Ndenza, Eyewitness News, Parliament.
6 activists released by Israeli forces after they were detained are expected to return to South Africa this morning. They were part of 450 participants in the global flotilla arrested last week on their way to deliver much-needed aid in the besieged territory of Gaza. The International Relations Department confirmed that the group will touch down at OR Tambo International Airport this morning. Khomotso Modisa reports.
It's been a week since activists from around the world were captured while sailing through the Mediterranean to deliver aid to war-stricken Gaza. But after global outcry and reports of activists being held in inhumane conditions, this week the International Relations Department announced that the South Africans who were held would be released from detention and would be departing from Jordan. The group is expected to land at the OR Tambo International Airport this morning, with families, friends and supporters ready to welcome them. The International Relations Department will then lead a press conference with the activists. Khomotso Modise, Eyewitness News.
The Palapala burglary trial is expected to resume today with a new Oshiwambo court interpreter. Oshiwambo is an official Namibian language and is the mother tongue of the 3 accused in the case, Emanuela David, Froliana and Ndilinasho Joseph, who are siblings. Court proceedings were cut short on Monday, with the accused saying the interpreter was incorrectly relaying the messages. The 3 are accused of breaking into President Cyril Ramaphosa's farm in 2020 and stealing $580,000 in cash. Tabiso Goba reports.
Emanuela David, along with siblings Froliana and Ndilinasho Joseph, are all South African citizens. During their bail applications, all 3 revealed they were born and raised in Bilabila, Limpopo. The town has a small but active Namibian community where the people speak Oshiwambo. Several times during this case, the accused have raised concerns over the Oshiwambo court interpreter. Magistrate Peter Mantata says it's in the interest of justice they are able to follow the court's proceedings.
I don't want to risk by proceeding with this matter, and at the end of the day or the whole trial, and the matter may be set aside on the basis of a very simple thing that this court could have addressed.
Today is the last day of the scheduled trial dates for this case. New data expected to be announced. Tabiso Goba, Eyewitness News.
And motorists in Tshwane are being warned about several streets in the city that will be affected by protest action, which is beginning this morning. Christian advocacy group the South African Church Defenders is leading a march to the union buildings to oppose what it says are attempts at unconstitutional state control of the church. The city spokesperson Isaac Mahamba is urging road users to use alternative routes.
Motorists are advised to use alternative routes such as Pretoria Street, Nanasita Street and Boom Street. The marchers are expected to disperse from the union buildings at 14 p.m. in the afternoon. Tshwane Metro Police Department and South African Police Services officers will be deployed to monitor the march and all affected streets.
Gold is trading at $4,013.29 an ounce. The rand is at 17.24 to the dollar, 23.09 to the pound, 20.04 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $65.99 a barrel.
And in the traffic, as you heard on Eyewitness News, several roads in the city of Tshwane will be affected with heavy delays and traffic volumes due to a protest that's aimed to take place towards the union buildings. Several roads will be heavily backed up. Please be on the lookout and plan your trips ahead of time. Traveling in Kelvin, we still have got those roadworks taking place along the N3 North right near the Baku interchange. Delays from Marlborough Drive.
A partly cloudy day in store for Gauteng with isolated showers and thunder showers expected. The temperatures will peak at highs between 26 and 30 degrees. The top story in EWN this hour, KwaZulu-Natal Police Commissioner Clement Manyathela is expected to continue with his testimony before Parliament's ad hoc committee inquiry into alleged corruption in the criminal justice system.
EWN, in touch, in tune and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
You're with Clement Manyathela
On 702.
Let's Walk the Talk. Streaming on the Prime Media Plus app.
DSTV channel 856.
92.7 and 106 FM.
Seven minutes after 9 o'clock. Dumelang. Welcome to the Clement Manyathela Show. Great to have you with us here on 702. I hope your morning is going well so far. Wherever you are listening to us from, all the best with your plans today. The 702 open line starts right now on 011-883-0702. The WhatsApp line is 072-702-1702. Are you ready for the country to burn? Because I think I am, so that we can rebuild from the ruins. And maybe that's what's needed before things are going to be stabilized. This is what the commissioner, the KwaZulu-Natal Commissioner, Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi, said yesterday at the Parliamentary inquiry, that if certain things are going to be revealed, we are going to be shocked. If crime intelligence officers have to speak out and defend themselves, this country will burn. And I'm suggesting this morning that maybe that's what we need. Because it feels and sounds like, in fact, even based on the evidence that he has provided since that July 6th press briefing, it really feels like this country is already on the ground. The rot is so deep. So how are we going to restart? Should we avoid the country burning, to borrow his words? I think the truth has to be revealed, regardless of what the consequences are going to be. And don't get me wrong, I'm not suggesting here that the crime intelligence and the spooks, the spies must tell us how they go about doing their work. I'm saying, if our state is so compromised that we've got judges that are compromised, we've got criminals that are running the show and controlling politicians, we've got buildings that are being leased and houses leased by crime intelligence, not for the purposes of crime intelligence, but because politicians are living in those houses, let that be revealed. So what if that's going to lead to the country burning? If that is the truth, let it come out. What do you think if you followed through what Jerome Mkhwanazi said yesterday? I'll play some of you clips of what he said yesterday, because he spoke until very late last night, and then there was a debate that continued in that ad hoc committee. Some of you may have missed it, so I'll try remind you or play some of these clips from what happened in that parliamentary inquiry yesterday. But please let me know your thoughts if you've caught some of his testimony yesterday. 011-883-0702 is the number to dial. The WhatsApp line is 072-702-1702. Between 10 and 11 o'clock, we're going to be in conversation with our colleague Mendy Wiener in front of a live audience. I always love doing the show in front of a live audience. It's always fun seeing you face to face and seeing you ask the questions as opposed to over the line. And we're going to be talking to Mendy about her new book titled The Deal, which takes us inside the talks that led to the formation of the GNU. I went through the book. I had the pleasure of writing for Mendy the shout code, which you will see on the cover of the book. It's a fascinating book. I mean, we learn about secret hotel meetings. We learn about broken phones. There are meetings that were not attended, that were missed. Just guess which party missed the meeting. confirmed that they're coming, but they didn't come. That party, yes, that one. They just didn't pitch for some of the meetings. In fact, when they pitched for meetings, they were always late. This is when the GNU was being formed and there were conversations taking place behind the scenes. There was flying popcorn at some point because people were getting too excited or too anxious. But Mandy really gives us an all-access pass to the unheard events and the behind the scenes of the talks that really define this country. So we're going to be talking about this book between 10 and 11 o'clock. If you have any questions, please get them ready. And if you're still on your way coming through, can't wait to see you between 10 and 11 o'clock. At 11 o'clock, we're going to do our Listener's Choice feature. And today, we're discussing how the tender and bid adjudication process works. There's a lot of rot in this system. It's been captured for a very long time, from roads, schools, clinics, to procurement of goods and services. The way tenders are awarded in this country affects everything. Every year, government spends hundreds of billions of rands on public projects, on services. Whether you talk about the construction of schools and hospitals, supplying medical equipment, IT systems, stationery, you name it. Even contracts are awarded through what's meant to be an open and fair tender system. But is it? Because on paper, tenders are about transparency. They're about competition and value for money. They're designed to make sure public funds are spent wisely and that all qualifying businesses, whether you're big or small, you have a fair chance to benefit. But let's be real, guys. The process is so complex, at times very controversial. We've heard of countless stories about irregular expenditure. How many times have prices been inflated? Inflated contracts. And politically connected individuals are the ones often that are lending these massive deals. And that leaves the public wondering whether the system truly serves the people or just a few privileged insiders. So to really understand how the system works, we need to go beyond these headlines and look at the mechanics. How are these tenders advertised? What happens after bids are submitted? But also crucially, what takes place during the bid adjudication stage, right? The moment when decisions are made about who actually wins a contract and who sits on those bid adjudicating committee meetings. Because sometimes it's those people who sit there because they decide which company gets the tender, and sometimes they get rewarded for choosing specific companies. So we'll take you through this entire system on our Listener's Choice feature at 11 o'clock today. And then at 11:30, we do the sharing space. We're going to be hearing from a single mom today who is under pressure as her daughter's matric dance approaches this weekend. And I wonder how you deal with the pressure from your kids who are under pressure from their peers at school. Because that's the story basically that this woman is sharing with us. You'll hear about it at 11:30 on our sharing space. That's the show coming up over the next 3 hours.
Clement Manyathela, streaming on the Prime Media Plus app.
DSTV channel 856,
92.7
and 106 FM.
Hi, Clement. Anonymous here. On General Mkwana's comments around the country burning in the event that crime intelligence reveals certain information, I'd like to agree that I think that's what is needed in this country, because we are kind of tiptoeing around the real issues that are dismantling our system, especially how endemic and normalized corruption has been, from entry-level public servants to the highest authorities. This country and its leadership is rotten. And if that needs to happen so that we can come up with a new system, so that we can come up with a new public service that is grounded on principles of fairness, patriotism, and love for one's people and country, let it be.
Let it be.
Thank you.
Yeah, what's that clip? What was that scene on Sarafina? Where it says, "Ben, Ben, Ben," were they in class? What was it on Sarafina? Remember, there was a riot at the school. I'm remembering that because they were so disgusted by the system at the time. I'm sorry. We live in a country with politicians that have no shame. They steal like there's no tomorrow. And if we have an opportunity to expose them, let it be. I would rather live in a country that bends to the ground and we build it from scratch. Because the bending then eradicates the people that have no best interest of this country at heart. We can build it from the ruins. But how long are we going to protect filthy, greedy politicians, parliamentarians, business people, because we're so scared that, oh my God, this country is going to go down? This country has already gone down. I say, let's play that clip, Abel, for some that may have missed it. This is what General Mkhwanazi said yesterday in Parliament as he was warning that if crime intelligence officers speak, a lot of us are going to be shocked and this country will burn.
If the purchase of properties is irregular, then definitely the head of crime intelligence and the National Commission must be held accountable. If they broke the law, they must be held accountable. But hold them accountable on the correct structure of government. Don't misplace it. Don't go to the media and talk about it and grandstand about it. Take it to the Joint Standing Committee and say, I demand that there must be accountability here because this is done wrong. And then for sure, that action is going to be taken. But if you're going to take it out of that structure into another platform, and you make allegations that are unfounded about the members of crime intelligence, the risk with that, which I repeat before this committee, is that the members of crime intelligence are going to be forced to defend themselves. And the only best way to defend themselves is to speak the truth. And when they come with the truth, majority of you will not be able to stomach it. This country is going to burn. Because there are top secret things that should not be discussed in public like that. So if you make the members look bad, they're going to counter. They're human beings. They've got families. They've got friends. They've been paraded as criminals in front of international TV. They were paraded when they were arrested. They were branded as bad people by these members of this committee, of this parliament, some of them. They kept quiet. But they know the truth. They have evidence, Honorable Chair, conventional or otherwise, that they have, which if they were to present it, it would be a press briefing that would be worse than what Mkhwanazi did. So I needed to prevent that by warning that let's not hold back and allow that the very same executive authorities, parliamentarians, participate in the wrong. Honorable Chair, if you were to ask me, I would say maybe we must close down crime intelligence, remove everyone that is there, and start afresh, if you will. Because I know names within crime intelligence that are bad. They were there in 2011. They are still there today. We have family members of the Mdlulis of this world that are still controlling gadgets that are listening to all of you at crime intelligence. And that's what Kumar is trying to fix. What does he get in return? No, leave this thing alone. You are the bad one. And other members are comfortable because, not going to talk about benefits that comes with it.
Because there are benefits. That's what he's implying there. There are benefits that come with protecting or going after certain people in the top echelons of the SAPS. My question, though, is why can't these crime intelligence people defend themselves? And it doesn't have to be in public. I mean, of course, there are certain things that can be discussed publicly. That's why you've got the Joint Standing Committee on Intelligence. There are other mechanisms through which spies and spooks can be held accountable. I mean, at the Madlanga Commission, you can testify in camera. Even at the parliamentary inquiry, there are certain things that you don't have to reveal publicly, but you can reveal in camera. Or make sure that at the Joint Standing Committee, you reveal those things. What is wrong with that? What is wrong with crime intelligence officers coming out and defending themselves? Because if really Dumisani Khumalo and other crime intelligence officers are being targeted because they're trying to fix the system, that must be exposed. Why must that be prevented because we're scared of the country burning? My understanding of the country burning is the truth is going to be revealed, regardless of what the consequences are going to be. But what that gives and affords us as a country is an opportunity to start from scratch. That's why Mkhwanazi himself says, if it were up to me, I would fire everyone at crime intelligence and start from scratch. Guys, the fact that Richard Mdluli's pals, according to Mkhwanazi, are still controlling things after so many years that this man has been out of the system, are you kidding me? So what exactly are we protecting here? Stanley, you're calling us from Roodepoort. What are your thoughts? Good morning.
Hi, Clement. How are you?
Sure, man. Go ahead.
Good, man. No, I'm saying let the country burn, and if it burns, we'll extinguish it. But my concern is one, Clement. At first, during the Madlanga presentation, I thought this guy, I had a different perspective from Konazi. But yesterday, I feel that his statement has some porous in it. Mm-hmm. And I'll tell you why. First of all, I think Konazi must just sit down and present the statement and answer questions today. Because yesterday, he was quick to say people must report to the responsible committees, like the issue of the DA guy. He's saying he was supposed to report to a specific, must follow the reporting channels. But he himself, he didn't do that because he couldn't handle what he knows. He decided to go on and have a press conference. So let him understand one thing, and one thing only, Clement, that he is just the same as the rest. And now I get the feeling that Mkhwanazi, I think if you take General Khumalo and check the movement from Johannesburg to KZN, even the city council asked him that, don't you think by roping in General Khumalo into KZN activities, you were overwhelming him in terms of job description? And he didn't answer that question. And to me, Mkhwanazi and Khumalo, they are all in the scene of crime all the time. And what I don't understand, the same budget which was allocated to them, who was controlling that?
Mm. So, yeah, Stanley, Dumisani...
I think today, Clement, if you can just hold on, it's going to be fireworks. Because whatever that he has been saying, really, it's taken as a gospel truth.
No, Julius Malema did warn yesterday that, of course, what Julius Malema yesterday said, we don't have to take what General Mkhwanazi says there as just as gospel truth, because that's something that still needs to be tested. And that's not to say Julius is doubting him or anything. He's just saying we need to be careful here, because if Mkhwanazi then starts mentioning, like, I don't know, Soviet Lekhanyan, and then who's the chair of the committee, and then mentions Dumiseni Ntuli, and then mentions Lien Mateus from the EFF, and then mention Mr. Skosana from the MK party. And then what? Everybody then will need to recuse themselves because people are being mentioned but evidence is not being tested. Today, the members of parliament are going to be asking questions based on some of the things that he has said. And I think that's going to be fascinating for us. I hope they don't grandstand, because these are politicians at the end of the day. Often they do things for political expediency. I hope they approach this with an interest to seek the truth, with an interest to try and fix what has been rotten, what has been broken in the system. Mapisa, you're calling us from Potchefstroom. Good morning.
Hi, Clement. My contribution is, or my view rather, the promotion of what the general has said about banning a country in pursuit of the truth, it's irresponsible and really sensationalization. We do not have capacity now to solve our problems. Why do we want to wish for a situation where things are ruined and completely destroyed. We know there is problems. It's nothing new. We're sensationalizing things here. There was money in SOFA's tender system, which we spoke about. There are general communities that knows these problems. We know the problems. We allow it. So even if we know the truth, there would not be major protests in union building demanding leadership. No, we are paralyzed. So for me, my point is we need to understand the truth and fixate on what we can do to solve the problem. Sensationalizing it, I do not agree. Thank you.
So what happens in the meantime, Mapisa, if really there are consequences to quote-unquote things burning, and by that I mean the truth coming out, as shocking as it may be to all of us, and maybe even turn around institutions. If we're not ready for that, so are you comfortable to live in a country where we possibly have politicians that are being controlled by a criminal syndicate and a drug cartel, and those can't be exposed in its entirety because we don't know what the country will look like post this quote-unquote ban? Are you comfortable to live in a country like that?
We appear as society that we are comfortable by voting for people that continues to show us that they are not ready to serve. We cannot then, when we have opportunity to change things through a democratic processes, then when we have commissions, we jump up and down. Clement, if you don't do well in your job, right, why should we continue to support you in your job? If I don't do well in my job, take it the same thing. We must take responsibility here. There is no country in the world, there is few exceptions. If people as voters, we don't take responsibility and demand through right institutions accountability and performance.
Mapisa, I agree with you there. I agree with you there. We need to take accountability as well. We talk about this all the time. Because, we're up in arms now, right? Have you seen the pictures of, so these people, let me paint a quick picture for you. These people that Jerome Konazi is talking about, these business people that are seemingly so corrupted in jail. Abo Ket Matlala. You look at the people that have been accused of wrongdoing, like Edwin Sodi. You look at people like Mongen, Hangwani. They were at a party together at Edwin Sodi's house. You know who's there at the party? Bulemabe. Keith Khoza. Who's Keith Khoza? The advisor to the current deputy president. The deputy president who once even used the house of Edwin Sodi in Cape Town. So if really you, as a South African, are convinced that General Mkhwanazi and Dumisani Khumalo are telling the truth by trying to link these individuals, particularly these ones that are currently arrested, Aboket Matlala, to these politicians, why are you not asking your party? Why do you have members there in the organization that are busy feasting with these guys that are facing such serious allegations? So, Mapisa is right. What accountability do you and I take? Because when we go to the polls the next time, what do? How do you exercise your power to ensure that there's accountability? You express your outrage at your disappointment at people who are constantly linking up with these problematic characters. What do? So we have been enabling the system for far too long, and we must take accountability for it. It's 9:30. Time for the latest in our Witness News headlines. Fiso, good morning.
Thanks, Clement. Good morning. Home Affairs Department officials are evicting undocumented foreign nationals at an informal settlement downtown Johannesburg. The officials are accompanied by Metro Police searching people's structures at the Homestead informal settlement. Earlier this year, the city of Johannesburg conducted a cleanup operation there with the plan of evicting occupants in the area. KwaZulu-Natal Police Commissioner Clement Manyathela has returned before Parliament's ad hoc committee inquiry into alleged corruption in the criminal justice system. Yesterday, he testified and told MPs that crime intelligence boss Dumsani Khumalo's arrest was a project to disrupt reforms in the crime intelligence. He said that the project included disbanding the political killings task team and was also aimed at stopping investigations in Gauteng. And 3 people have been killed in Cape Town in the latest string of violent crimes. Police say the men in their 20s were shot at an informal settlement in Guguletu last night. And those are the headlines. This EWN and more at 10 or as it happens.
EWN Traffic.
This EWN Traffic is brought to you by cars.co.za. Let's find what moves you. Amu, how are we looking?
Well, we've got roadworks on the N3 North between the Vincent Chabalala Road exit and the Baklu interchange. There's queuing traffic there, about a 15-minute hold up. If you're traveling on the M1 South, do expect delays between Greyston Drive and Coiled Drive. There's also queuing traffic along the N12 as well as the R24 West between the Kirulis interchange and Edenville Road. While in the city of Tshwane, some delays on the N1 North just as you approach the Gasfontein Road off ramp. An earlier accident has been reported there. And do remember that there will be a protest taking place along the streets of Tshwane this morning towards the Union buildings. Please be on the lookout there. Make use of alternative routes and try to plan your trip ahead of time. More details coming up at the top of the hour. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
8 out of 10 radio listeners suffer from CAR or car advertising on repeat. Symptoms include fatigue, anxiety, and confusion. With so many car ads coming at you on your daily commute, buying or selling a car can feel overwhelming. But there is a cure.
Cars.co.za. Whatever car you want to buy or sell, cut through the and just go to Cars.co.za and let's find what moves you. Cars.co.za.
Saving on your business insurance should not mean sacrificing cover. Switch to Outsurance Business Insurance and you could get a massive 20% discount on your premium. For medical specialities like dental, physiotherapy, surgical and other industries, Outsurance Business Insurance are trusted experts in insuring your business. Get more out of your business insurance. Get a quick and easy quote today. Call 08600 60,000 or visit outsurance.co.za. Licensed insurer and FSP. T's and C's and information online.
Oh, dreamers. They love to watch the dice roll, chasing that rush, that one big win. But then there's a different kind of player. Those who rely on strategy and not chance, who know that winning is earned. Those people play with SportPesa. SportPesa. Make it count. SportPesa is licensed by the Western Cape Gambling and Racing Board. No person under the age of 18 permitted to gamble. National Responsible Gambling Program toll-free counseling line 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 650 710. Winners know when to stop.
What does extraordinary mean to you? Is it infinite scalability? Or knowing your critical data is safe? Or choosing the best cloud for your business needs? Only Vodacom Business offers 5 cloud providers all under one roof. Search Vodacom Business Cloud. Together, let's build the extraordinary. Vodacom Business. Further together.
Your voice.
Your station.
Your open line.
Walk the talk with Clement Manyathela.
On 702.
25 minutes before 10 o'clock, we continue with your calls on 011-883-0702. The WhatsApp line is 072-702-1702. I've played you a clip of General Mkhwanazi, who is warning that should the crime intelligence officers come out and defend themselves, this country will burn, as a figure of speech. I mean, what do you guys understand burning to be? My understanding of burning is the truth has to come out regardless of the consequences. And it's the same view that I held even when Jacob Zuma was about to be arrested. There's some of you that said, oh my God, no, let's not do it because what if people take to the streets? Justice has to be done. We cannot live in a country where some people are untouchable because should you go arrest them? Like imagine we're scared to go arrest Ket Matlala or Clement, who's a very famous, dangerous businessman because he's got so much support. Ridiculous. And equally so, if there are secrets that could help us rebuild, let them come out, regardless of what those consequences are going to be. We are already in the darkness of the hole in this country. And if we are serious about rebuilding this country that I would imagine all of us love and are interested in, we need to fix. We need to fix what is wrong with the system. How do you fix what's wrong with the system? Maybe you need to fix it from the bottom up or from the top up, as the General Mkhwanazi said yesterday. If it were up to him, he would fire everybody at crime intelligence. Unfortunately, you can't really do that because then that halts the crucial work that they do or that they're supposed to do, if you get what I mean. I'm saying let the truth come out. We cannot hide certain things just because we are scared of the country burning, quote unquote. Let the truth come out because there's so much that is so wrong. There's so much rot in the system. And if we are so interested in living in a country, fairness of opportunities, where there's respect for the rule of law, it's important for us to take out the bad apples. Even with journalists. I mean, yesterday someone tweeted, do you have that clip there, Abel, of General Mkhwanazi? Oh, no, I didn't. We didn't save that one. There's a part where he was talking about an investigation. He mentioned, I think, News 24, and he said that there must be an investigation into the role of specific journalists, but he didn't necessarily name them, but he identified their publications as News 24, as City Press, and I think the Sunday Times, if I'm not mistaken. Please correct me if I'm wrong here. If there must be if he's got evidence, hopefully, or even if it's not full evidence, but a little bit that could help investigators begin, let him submit it. Let him submit it. And that's part of the banning process. The rot that has infiltrated, whether it's this industry, the media industry, the journalism industry, whether it's the rot that's infiltrated the SAPS, the political spheres, the judiciary, let it come out. Wasn't that the purpose of that briefing, press briefing on the 6th of July? Spiwe, you're calling us from Durban. Good morning.
Good morning, Clement. How are you?
I'm all right, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, Clement, we live in interesting times, and it's safe to say it's not the kind of times one was thinking of living through. So my take is, firstly, on the gentleman that was saying that he just went to the press conference. I beg to differ because I remember that the general actually followed several internal processes to try and get these issues out, but there was no success. Number two, indeed, the report, the spooks, as it were, should report everything internally so that everything is out there. However, looking at the kind of caliber of some of the members that sits in those special committees, I worry that some of them may just sit on the report and vote for it not to be out there in public. So what I'm saying is, so if it must burn, then it must burn. If you've got oil contamination in your engine, it requires for you to flush the whole system and then put new oil inside. If that needs to be done to fix matters, then so be it. That's my take on it, Clement. Spiwe from KZN.
Yeah, Spiwe, thank you so much for your call in Durban. And once again, guys, when we talk about burning, nobody's talking about civil war or violence. I understand burning to be a figure of speech. I understand that to mean let the truth come out, regardless of the consequences. And I gave you an example of the same way that when Jacob Zuma, who was the first ever former president to ever be arrested in this country, what happened? People were scared. People were scared of what could happen next. But that's a very dangerous precedent there that you would set. Because if as a country or even as a judiciary, you're going to decide that this man must not be touched because he's got some support and people are going to come out and protest, and therefore we are not going to subject him to the equality of the rule of law like we would any other South African, that would be such a terrible precedent to set. And equally so now, are we trying to set a precedent where we say there are certain judges that are corrupt, there are certain journalists that are corrupt, there are certain politicians that are corrupt, But no. Let's not reveal that because that's going to be danger in this country. Is that what we're comfortable with? I'm sorry, I am not comfortable with that. General Mkhwanazi has already taken the first step on the 6th of July, revealing the links between these politicians and some of these business people. And if there is evidence that suggests that we are so compromised in the judiciary, in the media, in the SAPS, that's got to be revealed, regardless of what the consequences are. And if that's not going to be revealed, please tell me what the next option is. Must people who are in the SAPS, who are aware of the rot, just keep quiet? Can they just leave it? If the president is corrupt right now, let's say for argument's sake, God forbid, the president is busy being controlled by a drug cartel. No, let's not reveal it, please. Because the country is going to burn. Is that the country we want to live in? So leave the president or the deputy or some police minister or anyone to be controlled by a drug cartel because we're scared that should that be revealed, that's going to cause havoc. Hi, Bo. Mpo, you're in Pretoria. Hi.
Hi, Clement. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure,
Clement,
go ahead.
I agree with you, and I agree with everyone's sentiment that the country must burn. I think the pertinent question now is, Mkhwanazi's teaser that if should he reveal names, the country will burn. How do we now force him to speak? How do we now force him to expose the rot, to expose the people that are involved? I mean, they mustn't throw this crap at us about national security and national intelligence and importance. This is not the US. We are bleeding taxpayers, and these oaks are accountable to us. So we need to find ways now. We need to understand what are the structures, what are the tools and mechanism of government or of parliament that will force Mkhwanazi, subpoena him to actually reveal those names. He's already told us that he's got the names. He's just worried to reveal them in case the country will burn. And that, for me, that is not good enough. As a country, I think as a country right now, we should be standing up and protecting ourselves. I don't think there's a single South African who doesn't go a month without thinking how crime will next affect them.
Yeah, and also, Paul, I expect a lot from anybody who takes a bold step, and I think Mkhwanazi, and I'll give him credit for that, for taking the bold step to reveal the truth. I expect more from him. I get it, he said, Yana, he wants to reveal the truth. He can't stick around and watch the rot as it happens. So why do we have limitations now?
Absolutely.
So,
and I couldn't have said it better, Clement.
And I'm not suggesting here that, of course, there are certain things that General Mkhwanazi is not going to be able to say publicly, right? There are state secrets. But again, there are mechanisms in place. There are structures in place where that evidence can be revealed. One, at the Madlanga Commission, in camera. Even Dumisani Khumalo said some of the evidence will be in camera. I hope that part of that evidence will be what he was talking about yesterday. So the Joint Standing Committee on Intelligence, there are many other structures where you can, in a safe manner, without compromising the work of state security or crime intelligence, you can make these kind of revelations. Because you are the man who wants the truth, who wants to reveal the truth. Because it disgusts you that the system is rotten. There mustn't be limitations, surely. Let's go to your WhatsApps on 072-702-1702.
Good morning, Clement. Clement, I agree with you 100%. Yes, let the country burn. Let it all be revealed, all these secrets. I would rather live in a rubble than allow myself to be ruled by 1,000 criminals. No, it cannot be. But also I'm worried about people who come to the show to discredit the general or his statements, everything that he's saying. I doubt these people are patriots or South Africans, or if at all, maybe they benefit from all this chaos we have as a country. Thanks, Clement.
Morning, Clement. I think it's best for the truth to come out. Fire is a symbol, or fire symbolizes purification as compared to water that just cleanses. So when the truths are revealed, the country can be purified from this rot of corruption, and we can start up fresh. This is Rowley from Johannesburg.
Morning, Clement. Regarding the burning, I think let's use a more subtle word. It would really be nice to just hit the reset button and start afresh. I could see if we're starting from 1994 or I don't know which year we're going to start from. Because think about it. Mkhwanazi is mentioning all these things. He hasn't even talked about the lawlessness happening in the Cape Flats. He hasn't talked about the gangster state Mashura was running there in the Free State. So this is literally just a tip of an iceberg. Yo.
Hey, morning, Clem. To me, I think what General Mkhwanazi said yesterday, let the country ban. We are already banning in this country. So nothing new, nothing gonna shock us, nothing gonna surprise us, because it's been long overdue seeing this thing happening. But we're not having somebody who can come out clear and put it as it is to us. So let it be, so we can see what's going on exactly. Foster from a pit. Thanks.
13 minutes before 10 o'clock. Timothy, Ishmael, Silo, I see your calls. I'll start with you after the break.
702. Serving the 702 family in 702 land, including those of you in Attridgeville. Attridgeville was established in 1939 and named after philanthropist Myrtle Attridge. The Mendi War Memorial in the township commemorates the over 600 black South African soldiers who drowned when the troop carrier SS Mandy sank in the English Channel during the First World War. Former Deputy Chief Justice Dikang Moseneke grew up in Attridgeville, as did middle distance runner Sydney Marie. 702. Let's walk the talk across 702 land, including Attridgeville.
Join us for the Clash of the Titans at the Inanda Polo Club on the 19th of October, where Africa unites through polo. Proudly brought to you by Titan Law in association with Polo South Africa. Don't miss out. Book your spot on Howler.
Running a business is tough. You need tools that just work. That's why more South African businesses are switching to Mac. At iStore, we make it easy with 4,000 rands in added value when you switch. That's 3 years extended warranty and remote tech support, leaving you to focus on everything else. Switch to Mac with iStore, your expert partner. T's and C's apply. Mac at iStore. Run smooth as business should.
To walk the talk is to turn words into meaningful actions. And it's what we at 702 are committed to doing every day. We're also committed to following the rules set out by the Broadcasting Complaints Commission's Code of Conduct. To give you balanced programming, fair comment, and accurate news. But if we stumble along the way and you feel we're not living up to the code, let us know on comment@702.co.za. And if after that you're still not happy, you can direct your complaint in writing to the Broadcasting Complaints Commission, PO Box 412365, Craig Hall 2024. For more, visit bccsa.co.za.
Your voice. Your station.
Your open line.
Walk the talk with Clement Manyathela
on 702.
10 minutes before 10 o'clock. Let's go to Timothy. Let's start with Silo, who's been holding much longer. Silo, you're in the Northwest. Good morning.
Good morning, Clement. How are you?
I'm not Wena.
I'm not Dawood. Dawood, you know what is happening in this country now? We are fed up because we have been quiet for a very long time. We support Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi. Everything what he said on the 6th of June is the honest truth, even there in Madlanga Commission.
Wait, so what? His evidence mustn't be tested because you already take what he said and you believe it's true?
Yes.
Okay.
It is, honestly speaking.
All right. Silo, in the Northwest. Thank you. Well, his testimony will be tested today by members of Parliament. At the Madlanga Commission as well, some of the people he's mentioned are going to come and they've got some questions for him as well. he will also have an opportunity to cross-examine or question some of the people that may implicate him in anything else. This is not to say that what he has shared with us is not true. In fact, if anything, most of what he shared on that 6th July press briefing has been proven by Dumisani Khumalo through the evidence that is already provided, especially through the text messages. But I'm a bit uncomfortable with this idea that when someone says something, no matter how impressed you are about their bravery, then you take it as that's it, and therefore that can be questioned. I don't think that should be how we approach things, whether you like someone or not. Let's go to Ishmael now, who's calling from Morningside. Ishmael, hi.
Hi, Clement.
Sure.
Yes, my contribution is that accountability should happen in a transparent and open way. If we allow talks that some people can say, if I tell the truth, the country will go up in flames. That is basis for blackmail.
Yes.
Because if indeed I have something I hold against you, Clement, and I will only use it when convenient, I am actually keeping you a prisoner of fear. So
Precisely.
let us ensure that we get to the bottom of this, and you are correct. Let's use the appropriate structures to get at the bottom of this and let accountability prevail.
Absolutely. Ishmael, couldn't have said it better. Thank you, Ishmael in Morningside. In fact, let me take you to Parliament now, because I think he's now being asked about the so-called Big Five, this cartel that apparently has been running amok and has links to all of these politicians and some judges and some prosecutors. Let's listen to what he's got to say in Parliament now.
Did you get the page?
It should be on my statement. And but on which volume is it?
It's volume 3.
Volume 3 or 3.1. So
What is the page number? Do you have it evidence leader?
Page number. Okay, I want to invite the members on that volume 1, NMS 3, to open page 83. Page 83. So in paragraph 275.
So they're still trying to find some pages there, but this is the ANC Member of Parliament, Mr. Ola, has been asking him about the so-called Big Five cartel. All right, they found the pages now. Let's take a listen.
To answer the question of the honourable member, I think it's important to look at that sketch that we've put in the statement. You are asking who are these Big Fives. We can only talk about the Big Five of those that are already arrested and they are in court. Those that have not been arrested, unfortunately, we're not in a liberty to talk about them. You will see that the Big Five on this graph are those that are marked with red on that picture on the left. So that whole group, the only names that we are making it visible here are the two names.
Okay.
And that's a name of a Vusmus Matlala, who is known as Cat, as well as Katiso Molefe. Both individuals have been to court, and I think you are privy to the court processes related to their cases. We have the other three that we did not reflect here. They are known. Their names are known. I must say, Honorable Chair and members, these are tenderpreneurs. These are the people that the government has been awarding tenders to. They are quite big financially. They are part of this whole lot. We did not put their names because we did not want to implicate people before they appear before court, except the others, the The place that we feel comfortable to talk about it, we name the names, and the others that we're not comfortable with, we did not put the names.
That's fine, General. That's acceptable. You say there is an involvement of the judiciary in all this fracas. But in that process, you mention only one fellow magistrate, Mahlangu. Are there any other magistrates or judges? Because when you say the judiciary, we include the two. Any other magistrates or judges that are suspected to be aiding this alleged criminal syndicate? And in respect of Magistrate Mahlangu, what is her links in the entire syndicate?
Honorable members, again, I don't want to go deeper into the status of the investigation, who's who in this whole puzzle. Therefore, I'm not even talking about the names of people that are part of the criminal activities. I said, when I addressed that they are presiding officers, which are members of the judiciary, that are participating in these illegal activities. And it's not one and not two. And I confine myself to this criminal investigation. That's why I made a reference to those that are in Gauteng province. So I'm not going to call them by names. The magistrate that we are talking about, although I did not call him by name, I mentioned the magistrate because he's presiding over the matter that is in court already has got to do with the arrest of these members and the bail condition that was granted. So it's that which I'm only highlighting, that you have a magistrate that sits and listens to what the state is asking for, and then the magistrate comes up with his own rules, his own rulings, contrary to what the state has asked for, and more stringent things. Then you ask yourself a question, but why? Why do you have to go to this extent, magistrate? And these are the questions that, when things like this happen, it makes us to go deeper to try and establish exactly what then is the role of this individual in this whole investigation that you are busy with. So I have not called his name, and I have not called any presiding officer's name. And those details will be made visible by the team if they're so willing, but it cannot be done in the open meeting.
Thank you, General. I think we'll skip to the next three questions because they are related to what the General is talking about, an ongoing investigation. So as it relates to the judiciary and the link to the crime syndicate, we'll just skip it. Maybe we'll deal with it when time allows. Let's go back to, you say there is a prosecutor who has submitted an application for a warrant of arrest to a magistrate for it to be signed, but later called that warrant must be withdrawn because he or she does not want to lose her job. Do you mind sharing with the committee and the people of South Africa who is this prosecutor? From whom did they get this call? Who apparently is this powerful person who might be aiding some of the wrong things within the criminal justice system? And you'll forgive me, General. I said that some of the questions I'm asking because I'm the chair of justice. So they are part of the mandate that we've been given.
Yeah, I'm going to invite Honorable Chair. There are quite a lot of information that might need to be revealed by the team that is busy with investigation that experienced that, because I received the report. I said on my statement when I started that information I'm presenting before the ad hoc committee is information that I saw on my own eyes, information that I was authorized to have access to, and information that was shared to me by my colleagues as they are working. So some of the things I might not necessarily give it to you in black and white, for instance, to give you the name of the magistrate. But I'm confident that those members whom their names I can give you, that were involved they can come before this committee, and I will request that it can be done in a closed meeting where they can tell you exactly who the magistrate are, because those are the members that are from counterintelligence.
Yeah, so I guess we'll have to wait for the team to come and share more information, even if it happens in camera, as long as the rot is going to be exposed so that that can be dealt with. That's General Mkhwanazi continuing with his testimony on day 2 of this parliamentary inquiry. It's time for the news.
This is EWN.
Good morning, I'm Sfiso Zulum. The ad hoc committee investigating alleged police corruption in Parliament has resumed today, where discussions shifted to calls for DA committee member Diane Kohler-Barnard's recusal. Members of the committee want her removed after she was named by KZN top